Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and today somebody on Facebook was trying to make this, and they came up with this and were not happy with it, and they said they spent a couple hours. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be, and I'm not insulting you. At first I thought it maybe was Mr. and Mrs., and then they put a heart in there, so I took out the heart, and if I did this for you and you're watching this video, and mainly I'm doing it for everybody so they can make it actually added a little detail so you could actually engrave the cake topper or not. It's going to look either way. This is the vector. But just one thing, whenever I open a file, I actually open up your file. So all your settings are the same, and I um, kept thinking that the smoothing tool isn't going to work, and it looked really kind of jagged. It didn't look very smooth. I mean, I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but it's like pixelated, little jagged edges. And I kept smoothing, and I was trying to figure out what I did wrong. And here's what I found: when you go to view, when you go to view, you had it set on normal. You need to go and set it on advanced, and this is just personal preference, but now it is super clean and sharp, and it's a good vector line. It's actually showing you what you're getting. And I'm not going to go through the whole process, but I found this off the internet and traced it and actually got this. It needed just a little bit of cleaning up, and you can see right here on these corners. That's very easily, and I think you've got Corel X7 or above. You can just take the smoothing tool and click on that item, and this is a really good one to do it on because it's your heart and your shape and your deer heads, and nobody's going to know the difference. And it took that long to clean up that shape, and you could just go and clean it up a little bit. But the whole idea of the video is how I got to this point, and it's a pretty easy cut and paste. Let's just write out Mr. and then Mrs. And I've already forgot the font I used, but we can go up to the font, and it should be this one right here that I just used last, and that's good enough. I'm going to left click, right click, and this is where I still sometimes get confused on which order to do first, but you need to convert it to a curve first before you break them apart, and then Control K to break them apart. Then just take your rectangle tool and make you a rectangle, and it doesn't have to be very thick. And in this case, especially for a cake topper, you don't want that flat edge that you have on yours, or I wouldn't personally. I'm not saying I'm know everything, but then take this and go up to this, which is your corner radius, and unlock your lock. And then the radiuses of the corners you picked will only be done. Like I did the top left, I'm going to do the top right. I'm putting in 0.25. So that makes it a little easier. Before I would do anything else, I would take these and weld them together to get rid of those interior lines. And you see I did it in the wrong order. I sometimes even get confused. But I set my nudge factor on a couple inches. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I'm going to select that. I'm going to weld it, and then I can put this right back, which I'm going to have to take it away later when I weld it to this. And we'll just go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this down, and you should actually probably put your deer, I can't remember I think this is the Browning logo, and I'm sure it's been used a lot of times before, but I want to get that M a little bit away. I'm going to hold down the control button so it'll stay on that lateral plane, and see what happened. I moved my S, so I need to click on that one, hold down the shift key, click on that one, then hold down my control button. And since that M, I could actually put a little bit closer and actually have it touch that. And that's for more than one reason. And then let's move this out a little bit to kind of make it equal. Because what's going to happen here, this is actually going to make it stronger. I would even maybe, if I made one and it wasn't quite strong enough, I would maybe make this a little stronger. I'm going to have to move this down a little bit to get it more stable in here. Now I'm going to select all this, but I first need to move my part of my S, move it out of the way. because it's going to disappear just because of the way I did it. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to move my S back. So now it's complete except for these two parts. And instead of going through the weld tool again, it's a lot easier. Just take your virtual segment delete key and delete those parts. And you're done. Now you could weld all this together, but I find I actually like taking the Smart Fill tool and filling it in. Take it out of the way, and then you could left click, right click, and you've got a part that's not broken where this is still broken apart. So we'll actually just delete that one. And then if you like that, then you could put the legs on it. And the legs would be the same. For something like this, you were probably right by using 2 legs and just make them at least, well, there's almost 3/8 of an inch. And see, I don't draw like that. You're drawing with black fill constantly. I don't draw that. I draw that with a hairline. And then I'm going to Control D. Your offset is 0.25, which I don't like either. And for this very one reason, because I'm not equal now. So if you duplicate this, if you put your duplicate distance on 0, 0, which I stated in a bunch of my videos, and then you make a duplicate, it goes right on top, and then you could hold down the control button, and this one is going to be laterally the same. And then instead of going through the trouble of welding it, I'm just going to use my virtual segment delete key and knock out those broken lines. Now, once again, I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and fill that in, because now I'm back and it's a solid one-piece line. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. As you can see, my other 2 lines are there. Left click or right click, and you've got a cutout of your item. Now, I add a little twist to it, so it wouldn't be just plain Jane. You could actually engrave some and actually kind of accentuate the heart. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Smart Fill tool. No, I'm going to use the contour tool. Go to Effect and Contour. I'm going to contour at 0.05, and that's going to change depending on how big you made your logo. To the inside, I'm going to hit Apply. It came out perfect on this particular one because I didn't want it bleeding down into here. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool, I'm going to fill in this part I want to engrave, and I'm going to move it out of the way a couple of clicks. Now I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to break the contour apart, and I'm going to grab my exterior contour line and I'm going to move it over back to where it was. Then I can take this and delete it, and your project is done. And I'll say as one of my mentors, Roy Brewer, my main mentor, Roy Brewer from Engraving Concept, job is complete. So there you go. Hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.